got you too then. Give me my shit, everybody. It's over. It's done. No more nothing's going on. Let's go. Damn. I'm out of here. Weak ass, weird ass bitch. The boss said let's go. Shut up. All you shut the up. Give me my phone. Call them out. Call your hoes and y'all wanna be bad bitches that don't move when I tell y'all.
Baddies Africa, episode 22, titled Dinner's Cancelled. The episode starts off with Natalie arriving at the beer garden in London, right? It literally cut off where we had Dolly running up in the background out of nowhere. She's grabbing LCK's cup out of her hand. She tries to throw it, boom, at Scotty. I was right in my last episode. I was like, I think she was trying to get to Scotty. But yeah, of course, Dolly could not get to Scotty. She had about 1 million security guards next to her and they grabbed Dolly so fast. So in the middle of all of that chaos, like they're trying to figure out, oh my God, what's Dolly doing? Who is she trying to get to? Like everybody's yelling and looking away. DTB out of nowhere comes and she grabs Natalie's hair and boom, she drags Natalie to the floor. I was like, oh my gosh. I know DTB had this planned all along. Like she kind of hinted at it too when she was leaving Africa. She literally said, we got to go out with a big bang. She was calculating this. Like she knew it's about the end of the trip. Now's my time. I'm gonna put my hands on Natalie. And my whole thing is just like, DTB, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. You are dead wrong for this. Like, girl, why did you sneak Natalie again? This is the second time that she did this. This was not the move at all. If you really wanted to call Natalie out, you should have just called her out. You should not have snuck her. I know the majority of people hate Natalie, but at the end of the day, she's the EP and she does deserve respect. Security's literally trying to hold DTB back. I will say I did see Rolley try to like get up in there. She was like, no. But yeah, security's trying to hold DTB back. You see Natalie coming at DTB, bitch. Like she's literally swinging on her. So Natalie is literally like pointing at Pretty P and she's like, get her, Pretty P. Pretty P said, she's like, oh, you don't want to get her? You don't want to get her? All right, I got you too then. I got you too. Like literally, Pretty P did not want to fight DTB. And like, I get it because Pretty P and DTB are actually cool. They're actually friends. It would have made more sense for Natalie to pick somebody that didn't like DTB. Dolly said she was being held by security, which they do show she was being held by security, so she couldn't really get to them. I seen Big Lex kind of standing in the background just with her mouth open like, so I'm kind of like, why didn't you do anything? I seen Summer definitely standing in the background, not doing anything. Dolly was the only one that I really seen for real being held back. Like, I don't know. Nobody made an effort. Like, I didn't see nobody actually trying to get around security or make any sort of effort to try to help Natalie. So that is actually pretty effed up. If you claim you'd ride for Natalie, for real, y'all should have had her back. But like, yeah, the Pretty Three did nothing. Latina did nothing. LCK did nothing. I mean, everybody just stand there and watch. I understand Natalie. She got so pissed off. She walked off the set and she was like, oh, it's done. It's done. We're not doing nothing else. That's it. Summer's trying to go outside and check on Natalie. Natalie's just so pissed off at this point that she doesn't want to speak to nobody. She's literally going off on everybody. She's like, F everybody. Rolley understands. Like immediately, Rolley is like, all right, let's just give her space. You know, she's hot right now. Then the scene cuts and we see DTB on the inside and she's, I don't care. I did it because she brought Latina in trying to replace me. That whole shit like was so messed up. Tavy Baby's basically telling her like, no, I don't agree with what you did though. Like you should not have snuck her, DTB. But at this point, DTB pretty much doesn't care. Like she said in the beginning, she's going out with a bang. So she had this planned, y'all. I understand what Natalie did with Latina and the replacement thing was wrong and it was effed up. But to be honest, you handled that. You handled that like a G too. You literally whooped Latina's ass. You had her leaking from the face. You shut Latina up. She had nothing to say the rest of the time there, you know? I honestly feel like it should have been left at that because DTB, she acts like she never does anything to Natalie too. Like before that, when she was trying to check Natalie about having Summer on her live, like it's just like weird stuff like that. It is funny because the whole time while DTB is talking about what Natalie did and when she gets to the part where she brought a replacement in here to try to replace me, as soon as DTB started saying that, you see Latina turn around and walk away. Like, oh my gosh, Latina is so scared. She is scared of DTB. She turned around like, no, I'm not about to fight again. No, literally, that's funny. Tavy Baby goes outside to check on Natalie and Natalie's like, no, F you too. You did nothing, you know, and Tavy Baby's like, I wasn't there. Like, I'm like, okay, then that makes sense because also Tay Baby's another one of the girls that I would have expected to ride for Natalie. Natalie's car starts backing up, you know, and trying to pull out, and Tay Baby's still yelling at the car like, oh my God, Natalie, are you you shitting me? Are you shitting me? I had your back and I didn't even get nothing. I didn't get my chain. I didn't get a bag. Like, I didn't get nothing. It's just funny because she's literally yelling at the car as it's driving off. She's like, come on, are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Like, DTB's literally like, I don't give a F, because if she was a regular B, I would have been fought her 10 times over. And Big Lex said, that's how I feel about Scotty. So I was like, Big Lex, do you ride for Natalie or not? Like, Tavy Baby honestly had Natalie's back more than Big Lex did. At least Tavy Baby was like, no, what you did was wrong, DTB. Big Lex low-key agreeing with her. Like, but yeah, when Big Lex was saying, that's how I feel about Scotty, referring to the fact that like Scotty's also not a regular person like Natalie, I'm pretty sure Big Lex was alluding to the fact that like she's dating the CEO, so she's not a regular cast member. She has special privileges. Even though they went live recently and they claimed that Scotty does not get special privileges, basically, that Scotty does not get protected by security and all that. So I was just like, well, what y'all say and what we see in the show are two different things. So yeah, I don't know about that. Now we have Dolly and Scotty and they're going back and forth once again. Dolly's pissed off because Scotty was trying to call her out and Dolly's like, you talking about something that happened such a long time ago, something that I already explained. Like, I literally already said that I didn't include you when I was saying that I want to fight everybody. That wasn't towards you, you know, but you want to make it about you so bad. And then Scotty even makes it worse because she's like, I was just trying to prove a point. Like, prove what point? What point are you trying to prove? That you're not scary? Or like, what? I don't understand. What was the point? Because you called her out and then nothing happened. Dolly's literally like trying to grab stuff. She's trying to grab ice and she's trying to throw it at Scotty. But like, security guard is pretty much not going to let anybody fight Scotty. Why y'all not letting Scotty fight Dolly? Scotty's so angry. You could hear that she's literally holding back tears. Like, Scotty's the type of person that when she gets mad, she starts crying, which sucks because you always look like a punk. Rolley made me laugh because she was like, okay, Scotty, okay, look, Scotty, don't start crying. Like, the way Rolley said it sounded a little bit more like annoyance than like comfort, you know. Scotty is just, she keeps saying, Dolly called me out from the very beginning. She wanted to fight me from the very beginning, which I'm like, no. Unless they cut out something that we didn't see, that's not what happened at all. In fact, from the very beginning, Dolly didn't really have any issues with you. You were the one low-key who was going behind Dolly's back talking a lot of shit. Like you were saying, Dolly is always fighting in the clubs and Dolly's the main problem. Like, she said a lot of that stuff about Dolly. When it was Ivory versus Dolly, Scotty was like, Dolly's in the kitchen crying. Like, literally, you made fun of the girl for crying. It wasn't until like mid-season when Dolly said that comment about, when my hand gets healed, I'm gonna fight everybody. Like, that's what Scotty's referring to. And she's just like, it's weird. Like, you see how nobody else is talking about that? Fauna is not talking about that. She's not trying to check Dolly about that. K-Rican, Tavy Baby, like, nobody has said anything. It's just so weird that Scotty held on to that comment and she's like trying to make this a thing right now. And I really feel like she's trying to make this a thing right now because this is the only storyline that she has. She's like, yo, it's almost the end of the season. Like, I gotta do something more. They finally leave the beer garden. I'm like, oh my God, thank you, Lord. Like, it was just too much happening. You see DTB getting into the sprinter. She's still on level 1000. She's like, I don't care no more. I'm not following the rules. If y'all want to follow the rules, follow the rules. I'm not following the rules no more. I'm like, okay, girl. But like, I guess you're not going to come back next season then. I think DTB sealed her fate, to be honest. Like, sneak me once, shame on you. Sneak me twice, shame on me. It's crazy if they bring DTB back again after sneaking Natalie twice. That would actually be insane. So the big three are in their sprinter, also heated as hell. Big Lex is mad at Fauna right now for letting Rolley put a battery in her back, basically, and fighting over something that happened in the third episode, like the first couple of nights in Africa and Cape Town. Lex is saying she basically doesn't have no respect for that. And now that Dolly's hand is effed up, Lex is pretty much like, I'm gonna catch that fade for Dolly. So when they get home, she wants to fight Fauna. I'm not sure that I agree with this because let y'all tell it. Y'all said that Dolly won. So why do we need to go back again and have Lex fight fight Fauna again unless y'all really feel like Dolly lost and she needs to get her lick back. You know what I'm saying? Why are we fighting Fauna again right now? Scotty is also on level 1000 right now. She literally said she was overstimulated from everything that was happening. It was affecting her so much. She started crying, and she was also a little bit upset that Rolley did not have her back throughout all this. To be honest, I don't understand that. I don't understand why she would expect Rolley to have her back with that. Like, you started it with Dolly first. She didn't come and start with you. She already told you once, I'm not talking about you. You brought it up again. You want to fight me? She said, girl, I thought I told you I wasn't talking about you. You started it. And then now she's here crying, like being a victim. I'm sorry. This is what I'm just like, Scotty, no, girl, no. Rolley feels like I do my part. I do talk to them. I do tell them about themselves. She literally said, like, when they were throwing bottles at the club, I cussed them out. I'm like, cuss them out? Really, girl? I don't think you cussed them out. But yeah, she's like, I cussed their ass out. And you know the response that I get? Oh, well, like, that's all they say. So, like, what am I supposed to do? Scotty's like, it's annoying. This is annoying. It's too much. And they're like, well, yeah, this is Baddies. Pretty much sums it up. They literally ask Latina, like, Latina, did you feel like you wanted to do something today? And Latina said, they were like, no. Hello? Latina, you don't got nothing to say? She said, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, this poor girl. She had no idea what she was getting in. Oh my gosh. She's mute. Literally mute. They're trying to dig it out of her. They want her to talk, but she's scared of even talking at this moment. It's crazy. The scene cuts, we're back at the house that they're staying at. Literally all of the girls are lined up like on the stairs. Cole Killa is at the bottom with her hat on, and she's standing up, posted up, like they're ready to fight, like they're ready to keep this rumble going. Okay, Scotty's even putting her hair up. You hear DTB say, I'm jumping in for Scotty. Scotty said, please, Dolly and Big Lex want to fight me. I'm like, well, you don't have to worry about that, because I'm pretty sure that they're not gonna let them fight you. So she's like saying, and they're not gonna sneak me because I'm the easy target. And like, Scotty, you're not you're not a victim, babe. You're also not Anna. You're not 5 foot and 90 pounds. That makes you just the easy target, girl. You are thick and you are tall, girl. You what, 5'7"? Is Scotty not 5'7"? 160 maybe. The girl is not petite or tiny to be acting like that. Like, I'm sorry, girl, so cut it out. Your legs can do damage. You're not an easy target. So the big three get back to the home. When the big three comes, it's like the storm is coming through. Big Lex goes in there. She said, what's everybody waiting for? She's looking around. Boy, it was mute. When I tell you it was mute, the way she got these girls scared. And then when she said you, she was pointing at Fauna. Fauna got up and said, me what, bitch? Like, you know, let's go. Fauna got down and they squared up. They just start swinging like boom, boom, boom. Fauna literally drops onto her knees. She tries to get back up. You see Big Lex like, yeah, with the uppercuts. Boom. Big Lex is like, yeah, face shots. Like, that didn't look good. That did not look good for Fauna, girl. Fauna and Big Lex start arguing after their fight. Fauna is literally telling her like, you're mad because you're just not doing what you want to do. And Big Lex is like, no, I'm mad because you let Rolley put a battery in your back pretty much and force you to fight Dolly. And Rolley's upstairs and she hears her name getting name dropped. Rolley comes downstairs. She's like, why is my name being brought up right now? I know y'all not trying to say that I manipulated this girl into fighting, because that's not what happened. And Big Lex was like, no, not like that, Rolley. But what I'm saying is that when you brought it up, all of a sudden she wants to fight again. And I was like, that's the definition of manipulation. But okay, tomato, guys. We're just not going to say the word manipulate if that's what makes you feel better, Rolley. But you did manipulate the girl into fighting. Again, let's call a spade a spade. Low-key, you orchestrated that whole beer garden event. Like, you manipulated all those girls into fighting. Why are you trying to act like you weren't being messy, Rolley? You were being messy. You EP'd that whole episode. It was messy. Own it. But yeah, anyways, Big Lex is like, so you see, the same way that you, Fauna, wanted to fight Dolly right now for no reason, that's why I came here and I want to fight you for no reason. I was like, oh, see, when you say it like that, that makes more sense, because I was so confused before why you just wanted to fight her. But yeah, it's funny because Fauna was like, I got you. Can I have some water, please? I was like, is it over with? Or you trying to get water to like spray it at Big Lex? Whole time Big Lex is calling her out again. She's like, stand down here and stand on it. Get down here and stand on it. But Fauna's not. She's steady on the stairs talking shit. Boy, she takes that water so fast, boom, she tries to throw it at Big Lex. Funny, the security guard literally leaped in front of Big Lex like, no! Once again, Big Lex is calling out Fauna like, get down, no excuses, stand in the paint, get in the paint, no excuses. Fauna comes down from the stairs, here we go, boom! Round 2, they're about to fight again. Is it just me or I'm the only one that's a little bit nervous? Because I'm like, the floor is wet, so y'all can slip very easily. Like, you know, I don't know, I would have been like, dry the floor up first. But yeah, here they go, they square up. Okay, this is definitely the best that Fauna has ever done in a fight against Big Lex. Dare I say Fauna might have took that one? Like, cause honestly, that first hit from Big Lex was so hard and Fauna went flying back like 3-4 steps. But then after that, like Fauna put her head down, you know, she just started like windmilling, boom, 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 boom. She got a couple of really good face shots on Big Lex. And Big Lex was hitting her too. Like Big Lex was getting face shots on her too. In the background, we have K Rican run up on Summer. She caught Summer off guard so hard, boy. Like, I've never seen somebody get caught off guard that hard. She start boom, boom, boom. She knocks Summer to the ground. She's still boom, boom, boom. Like Summer, poor Summer, she's not even doing nothing. I didn't see Summer swinging or anything. She's just literally getting her beat by K Rican. You have Cold Killer trying to run up and sneak Dolly as well in the background, but security kind of broke that up real fast, so nothing really happened there. Literally, you see Big Lex looking in the mirror and she's like, yeah, and then immediately she walks out. Big Lex is literally walking in the streets of London, shaking her hands again. I'm like, why are you yelling in the streets of London? What did the London people do to you? Like, oh my gosh, this girl, and she spits on the floor. I'm sorry, but that's nasty. That is so nasty. I like Big Lex, so don't come for me, y'all, but one thing I can't stand is when people spit in the streets. This spitting in general is nasty, but you're gonna do it out in the public in the streets is even more gross. But yeah, I'm just like, Big Lex, get in the house. What are we doing? Go back in the house. Stop disrupting these people's peace. We see Fauna's face too on the stairs. Fauna has like a mark on her cheek. Her face looks effed up too, but Fauna's saying that she gave Big Lex black eyes. She's literally in her confessional saying that. That's why I was shocked. So we see the pretty three inside the house. Literally, they're getting on an elevator that says do not enter. But no, it's just funny because the camera is following them, right? And they're all in the camera like talking to the camera. They're like, yeah, I did my shit. I bink. You see Cold Killer like, oh yeah, what's up? Like, oh my god, my earring. Like, they just all like talking so much into the camera. But yeah, I think they're on cloud 9 because low-key they feel like all three of them did their big one that night, and they kind of did, besides Killa. Like, I mean, she didn't really get to fight. You see Big Lex come back in. Her face looks kind of swollen. Like, wish we could really see it up close, but yeah, she looks kind of different in the face, like in the eye area, you know. But yeah, Rolley's pretty much like, all right, that's it, the fighting is done, y'all, just go to sleep. So the scene cuts and we are in Natalie Nunn's hotel room. We see Natalie and Amber Rose. They're just talking about DTB and how DTB snuck Natalie. Amber Rose is just kind of in shock and disbelief, and she can't believe that somebody would do that to Natalie. Even if you don't like her, just the fact that, you know, Natalie is the EP and she does bring so much opportunities to the girls simply just by being on the show, you know, she just feels like Natalie deserves some respect for that and shouldn't be snuck. And I completely agree 100%. Like, no matter how much you hate Natalie, if it wasn't for Natalie, Baddies wouldn't be on Zeus, period. So come on now. Even after DTB snuck Natalie, Natalie still kind of gave DTB her props, and she's admitting that, like, look, DTB has a big personality, you know, she turns it up when we go to the club. So to me, it sounds like Natalie might be okay with it, and I'm just kind of like, girl, it's never gonna end. If you keep allowing it, it's not gonna stop at DTB. She's gonna keep sneaking you, and other girls are gonna start to think that they can sneak you too. Hard no on that one. Amber Rose said Natalie's just seeing business, I guess. She's like, I'll do whatever I gotta do just for business. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that line is blurred. It needs to be solidified again. Okay, so we do get a little bit of tea right here because Natalie is telling Amber Rose, you know, like, I told Pretty P to get DTB, and she said no. And so she was like, so if you're not gonna ride for me, why should I ride for you? Why should I replace your Rolex watch that Summer threw in the pond? And so I guess that's why until now Pretty P has never gotten a replacement, because Natalie was saying like, I even felt sorry for Pretty P. I was gonna upgrade it for her and get her even a better one because, you know, her grandfather passed away on the show and all that. But pretty much that all went out of the window when Pretty P didn't stand for her, and I guess that's why she feels like, I'm not gonna replace it anymore. They signed something on Zeus that basically says like, don't bring anything valuable, because if it gets damaged, like they're not liable to replace anything. So like legally, Natalie didn't have to replace that watch for Pretty P. She was doing it out of the kindness of her own heart. So do I understand this? I do. It's gonna be an unpopular opinion though. Wait, so after that we just see Amber Rose's exit interview. That's it. She's leaving right now. And now that I think about it, I'm like, did Tommy Lee ever get an exit interview? Am I tripping? Did she just disappear from the show? I do not remember an exit interview for her, but yeah, Amber Rose is out of here. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like between Amber Rose and like Aubrey O'Day, like I'm just comparing those two because those are the two Caucasian women that were on the show as celebrity guests. I would rather have Aubrey O'Day come back. Aubrey O'Day at least had some funny moments. Like the whole time Amber Rose was just scared and terrified and anxious while she was on Baddies. Like it didn't even seem like she really wanted to be there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Amber. So the scene cuts, we have the Pretty Three, Tavy Baby, Pretty P, and DTB. Fauna's literally sitting there with half of her face swollen. Like you can see even through the makeup, like that cheek, like this part of her face is swollen so hard. But yeah, they're literally gassing up Fauna because she beat Big Lex. You know, they're all so happy. They're all like, yeah, finally someone took down Big Lex. Like she's been unstoppable all season long, undefeatable all season long. Finally somebody took her down. Like that's kind of how they're acting, right? Okay, so the scene cuts and we see the big three, LCK, Latina, and Rolley, and they're all sitting in the room discussing what happened in the beer garden as well. Rolley's whole thing is she doesn't feel like what she did was wrong because she feels like everybody needs to stand on business and fight about their issues so that they can all move on. That's what she feels like, so that they're not fighting about the same over and over and over and over and over. For me, I still feel like they're gonna fight about the same regardless. Like it wasn't like after this night that's it, we're done and we're over with. Like okay, Big Lex and Tavy Baby, y'all is not gonna fight anymore, and Dolly and Fauna, y'all is not gonna fight anymore. That's not what happened. Like you see, they just hate each other even more now, so I don't see how like anything got resolved. But yeah, oh, Big Lex is sitting with the swoop around her eye, so I guess Fauna did give her a black eye. I'm kind of shocked at that. Is that why Big Lex's eye was like red in the confessionals? Is that what it's from or no? I'm kind of shocked at that. Like this is the first time that Big Lex got right? It's the first time, I want to say. She never lost a fight all season long. She never even had like anything on her face. So Lex is kind of explaining what happened in the fight that she lost, basically, which is, it's very weird. She was saying in the first round, Fauna never got even close to her face, but in the second round, she said somehow she got close enough, and when she hit me, like she closed her eyes, and I guess she was kind of having a reaction. She kept feeling herself get hit in the face, and then she remembered like, oh my god, I am in a fight right now. Let me swing, let me keep fighting. I think that's what Big Lex is trying to say. She didn't really explain it very well, but that's how she's trying to justify that she lost that second round, because she had a reaction in the middle of that fight. It's very weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's very weird. But yeah, she's basically saying indirectly that she took an L, to Fauna. So we see all the girls getting ready for the final dinner of Baddies Africa. Big Lex finally actually says that she lost. She never said the word until now. Now in this printer, she said she was pissed off because she was like, if I'm gonna lose against somebody, at least I want it to be a fair loss. Wait a second, y'all. I'm literally hearing, and I don't know if they cut this out, but I'm hearing the tea is that allegedly Fauna had mace over her hands, as in pepper spray mace, and that's why when she started getting close to Big Lex had a reaction, the reaction that she was talking about, and her face, her eyes got all swollen. Oh my gosh, it sounds true, because what did I say? I said like Big Lex's eyes don't look right. They looked so puffy and like, you know, big. Like that's crazy. No, if that's the case, that's actually crazy, and that's doing too much. That's pretty much using a weapon. Apparently Fauna admitted it at the reunion that she put mace in her hands, y'all. I don't know. Okay, well, I'm trying to get the tea right now. We're still in the middle of the episode. Let's continue with the episode. But yeah, something shady happened in that last fight with Fauna and Big Legs. Okay, so the scene cuts and we see Natalie and Scotty sitting at the restaurant and they're talking 1v1. Natalie's pretty much like, she's over it. She doesn't even want to have dinner with everybody. So she wants to talk to the OGs. So yeah, Scotty is being compassionate. She's like, I'm sorry about what happened to you last night. DTB sneaking you, that was wrong. I wish she would have told DTB to her face that was wrong though, because to me it just looks a little shady. Like you were with DTB kind of supporting her and now you're with Natalie kind of supporting her. But anyways, Natalie was basically just saying like, let me make it clear, I did not expect you, Scotty or Rolley to jump in and fight for me, like, cause y'all's OGs. She's putting them a little bit at a higher level than everybody else, so she didn't expect them to stand up, but maybe some of the other baddies. Natalie's like, okay, so Scotty, the reason like why I unfollowed you is because the other girls were telling me that when y'all got back to the house, you were going around telling everybody that me and Natalie are not friends, basically. And Scotty was like, I don't know why they would do that. Like, I feel like they're just trying to be messy or they're trying to mislead you type of thing. And Natalie was like, oh, so you never said that? And Scotty was like, well, I did say that we aren't friends because we aren't. It's like she went in a circle just to say, yes, she did say that. I remember mid-season when Scotty said that her and Natalie aren't friends. That was when Big Lex was like, you standing with a B that said you're ugly. And Scotty was like, that's not my friend. I do remember Scotty saying it back then. And I also remember Scotty and Natalie having their sit down where they said that they were going to work on their friendship. Okay, so Natalie's basically saying like, girl, not friends is crazy. We are friends, Scotty. What are you talking about? I feel like, to be honest, I can kind of understand both points of view because their friendship definitely changed. They used to be super close. They used to be calling each other every day. And we've seen the dynamic of their friendship change over the seasons. So I think that's why Scotty genuinely feels like, I'm not sure if we are friends or not right now. Like, I like Natalie. She probably even has love for Natalie and all that. But friendship in the true essence of the word, when they're barely talking to each other, like barely calling each other anymore, that's where I feel like Scotty's like, I don't know. Are we? Whereas Natalie is more like, doesn't mean that we're no longer friends anymore. You know, it's kind of like when you're friends with somebody and you don't speak to them for a long time, but you can still go back and speak to them at any point in time. Like, I feel like that's what Natalie is thinking. So Rolley comes in there and Rolley's literally like, listen, I know what's the problem with you guys. Y'all don't spend enough time with each other anymore. Like, you literally let baddies come in between your friendship. I don't know that just them spending time again together would fix their friendship. Sometimes it's just like people change so much and you can't go back to that beautiful, nice friendship that they had because the dynamic has changed. Everything has changed. Back then, Baddies wasn't as big as it was. Back then, Scotty wasn't dating the CEO. You know, back then they had a different dynamic. Even if you went back to being friends, it's never going to be how it used to be. They're never going to be as close as they used to be. Okay, so Rolley is kind of voicing to Natalie that she felt like Natalie kind of left her hanging dry because she was like, you didn't stay in the house at all this season, and kind of like I had to do a lot of the work that basically you should be doing, like getting to know the girls and being neutral, like getting the stories out of the girls, trying to diffuse situations, trying to ignite situations, whatever. Like, Rolley just feels like she was doing a lot of EP stuff for this season and it wasn't fair. But Natalie said like, no, I totally understand, I get it, but I can't do that because I'm so busy nowadays that I can't stay in the house anymore. It can't be how it used to be. I completely understand Natalie too, because Baddies has only gotten bigger every single season, so she is so busy. And y'all, this is what y'all wanted anyways. Y'all always say y'all want Natalie behind the scenes. She's slowly moving behind the scenes. She's not living in the house anymore. She's playing more of a behind the scenes role. Nobody should try to argue this point, okay? So I'm actually with Natalie right now. I'm like, no, yeah, I agree. This is best for her. I don't think she needs to live in the house. That was the whole point of her making Scotty and Rolley the kind of the house leaders this season, was so that they would basically take on some of the roles that she's unable to do anymore. Yeah, but Natalie doesn't even want to have a final dinner. She's like, usually we get like final thoughts and everything, but I just feel like we should just like see each other at the reunion and that's it. Like, oh my god, she's really over it. Like, Baddies Africa was just crazy. Gosh. Oh my gosh. So we see the scene cut and the big three are literally like, okay, Natalie wants to meet up with us, and they're so happy and they're getting off the sprinter to go meet up with Natalie. Then it cuts to the other sprinter that has the Pretty 3, DTB, Teddy Baby, and Pretty P, and it says the ladies are informed that Natalie has canceled the finale dinner and the Baddies Africa tour has come to an end. I was like, damn, Natalie was not playing around. DTB, this is all your fault. Y'all didn't get no finale dinner just because of what you did. Okay, so we see Latina's exit interview. Oh my gosh, like she was literally there for a couple of days, right? She pretty much said she enjoyed her entire Baddies experience and she wants that again with DTB. She wants to come back next season. But honestly, do I want to see Latina back next season? No. I feel like you didn't make the most out of that short time that you had. You should have came with such a big impact that we are all just saying your name every single day. Latina, oh my God, Latina, Latina. But you didn't. After that fight with DTB, you were mute. We see LCK's exit interview after that. To be honest, my opinion on LCK, initially, I did not like LCK. Like the beginning episodes, my reviews, I was not a fan of LCK. I was even saying she is not a baddie. How she just kept getting beat up. She would never swing. And she literally let Tavy Baby hit her and did nothing. She let Cole Killer hit her and did nothing. She let Rolley slap her into the bushes and did nothing. Like, I was like, this girl gotta go. But, you know, towards the middle and end of the season, I started to like LCK more because I started to appreciate the different side of her. You know, like she has some pretty funny moments that made me laugh. I did end up liking LCK towards the end of it. Now, would I say I want to see LCK back for a whole nother season of Baddies? I'm gonna have to say no for LCK. I would rather see somebody new. Sorry. We see Fauna's exit interview next. Fauna said that she's happy of the way she conducted herself this season on Baddies Africa. She felt like she was a classy baddie. And yeah, for the most part, I could say like she didn't do nothing too crazy, too embarrassing. To me, Fauna was a little boring all season long. Like I literally remember there was points in the season where I was like, oh my God, she's still here? Like she did not speak up. Like if it wasn't for her fights with Big Lex, think about it. What is Fauna doing this whole season long? You know, to me, I don't feel like Fauna has a big personality. She's not really funny. You know, Fauna is one of the fan favorites, but I am so sorry. If it comes to next season, if you ask me, I don't want to see Fauna again for next season. I feel like she had her run and that's pretty much it. Okay, we see K Rican's exit interview next. If y'all watched my videos, y'all know that K Rican is my favorite out of the Pretty Three because she's hilarious. She just has that natural humor to her. It's effortless. She doesn't have to try hard. She's not performative. But yeah, she has that, you know, laughter and that lightheartedness that I feel like we needed to this show. We needed more comedy and comedic moments. And K Rican had me cracking the F up. She knows how to read people, you know. And so honestly, would I want to see K Rican again on the next season of Baddies? I would, because I feel like she can bring something unique other than just fighting. She has a big enough personality to be entertaining. So yes, I would want to see K Rican again next season. Next, we see DTB's exit interview. She literally says she doesn't wish she did anything differently, which means she does not regret sneaking Natalie. DTB is hard for me because I really like DTB. Honestly, if she didn't do that sneaking thing, I definitely would have said, yes, I want to see her back next season because DTB, to me, she hits so many tick marks. Like somebody funny, yes. Big personality, yes. Beautiful, yes. Brings the looks, the fashion, yes. Performer, yes. Like she ticks so many boxes. And DTB is like another one of the people that had me cracking up in her confessionals and just, you know, seeing her on the show and stuff like that. But her sneaking Natalie, I feel like that's where she crossed the line. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see DTB coming back again unless DTB does some major damage control, which by the way, yes, I've seen on social media that she's trying. I've seen that she's literally begging to get her job back, which is just like, I don't know. I don't have respect for that. I'm just like, don't do it in the first place then, dummy. You want to go out with a big bang and then afterwards, I'm sorry. Okay, I need to get my job back. Like, no. You reap what you sow, girl. That's it. Next, we see Pretty P's exit interview. And yeah, Pretty P this season has just been a major letdown. Unfortunately, it's not like really her fault because she was gone for most of the season. Her grandfather passed away. And I think when she came back, she was kind of, you know, how do you come back from something like that? But overall, she was boring while she was on the season. She didn't really have a storyline because she kind of squashed her beef with the big three initially, so she didn't really have anything to do and she kind of faded into the background. This season just unfortunately didn't work out for her. But yeah, that's it. It's obvious. I do not want to see Pretty P back for another season. Next we have Tavy Baby in her exit interview. Initially I was not a fan of Tavy Baby because when she came in fighting DTB, I literally just felt like you have no beef with DTB. You're just doing this because you're trying to be like on Natalie's good side. side. However, over the season, I did have more respect for Tavy Baby when I seen her continue to get in the paint over and over and over with Big Lex. Like, she fought Big Lex the most out of everybody there, which says a lot. At the end too, when she told DTB that what she did was wrong, I have respect for her for doing that. You could tell Tavy Baby really appreciates the experience, and that's what I want to see. I want to see people that don't think that they're bigger than the program. Yeah, I want to see more girls that are appreciative and hungry, and I feel like Tavy Baby was hungry. Do I want to see Tavy Baby back for another season? I think she deserves it, y'all. I think she deserves it. She put in work. Next we see Cold Killer and her exit interview. And yeah, what I'll say about Cold Killer is that she put in her work too all season long, just like Tavy Baby. She never backed down from a fight. And what I like about Cold Killer too is she's humble enough to admit when she took an L. I like that Cold Killer does seem more down to earth. She doesn't have this stuck up attitude that a lot of the baddies have. And honestly, I feel like Cold Killer got robbed of most definitely the second baddies chain. That second baddies chain, I'm sorry, it should not have gone to Fauna. It should have went to Cold Killer. Cold Killer did way more than Fauna did. But yeah, that's my opinion and I'm sticking with it. But yeah, do I want to see Cold Killer back for the next season? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. So now we finally see the big three meeting up with Natalie, Rolley, and Scotty. And Natalie has the final chain and she's giving it to Dolly. Finally! I'm like, okay, this was a long time due. Honestly, Dolly should have got the first chain this season. She was definitely robbed of that. Honestly, if we're gonna pick 3 people to get chains this season, mine would have been Dolly, Cold Killer, and Tavy Baby. But yeah, Natalie is just happy and appreciative of the fact that the big 3 were the only ones to call and check up on her after DTB snuck her and did all that, and they said they were trying to get to DTB but they were held back by security. But yeah, they reached out to Natalie and they were trying to check on her, and Natalie appreciates that. And one thing about Natalie, she hooks her friends up. She buys them so many gifts and presents and all that. All 3 of them got Louis Vuitton bags and they looked really cute too. They were hella cute. I was like, oh, can I have one of those? So cute. But yeah, they pretty much do Baddie shot o'clock. We see Big Lex in her exit interview. Woo. That's what I gotta say about Big Lex is woo, because gee, the girl was a monster all season long. She said last season she was trying to play by the rules, which we did see. This season she was like, she's not gonna play by the rules no more because she noticed the OGs of last season didn't play by the rules. So they kind of became the OGs of last season, right? Yeah, Big Lex, to be honest, she did her big one all season long. Like, she was knocking beasts down left and right. I watched some of Big Lex's YouTube videos. If y'all didn't know, she has a YouTube channel and I see what type of person she is, and she is a genuine person, y'all. And I like Big Lex, and she did her big one, okay? She was definitely the heavy hitter, the Mike Tyson, the Muhammad Ali of this season for sure. Do I want to see Big Lex back again next season? Of course, that ain't even a question. Hell yeah. Next we see Summer, none other, in her exit interview. Summer is such a like love to hate her, hate to love her type of character, right? A lot of people really hate Summer. Well, actually, I want to say now people might hate Dolly more than they hate Summer, but I see Summer, I see a star. Big, huge personality. She got it. Hilarious, funny. She got it. She annoyed me sometimes in the season when she was constantly going after Cold Killer and fighting Cold Killer a million times. Summer, to me, just needed to be reeled back a little bit, you know, like from her whole Emmett Till comment and some of the comments that she was saying, like if she could reel back, just pull it in just a little bit, she would be good, you know, that's it. She just offends people because she goes too far. Overall, I like Summer in terms of entertainment, and I think she definitely should come back for the next season. Her loud, crazy ass on my mama. Like, all right, we see Dolly in the confessionals in her exit interview. What I like about Dolly, her style. First of all, y'all know I love her makeup and her outfits, her confessionals. Her style to me is probably my favorite. Other than that, Dolly has a big personality. I love her accent. I'm not even gonna lie, I love her accent. I don't care if she plays it up a little bit and makes it heavier. To me, it's hilarious. Same thing with Kay Rican, by the way. She was like playing up her accent and making it thicker. But yeah, she's hilarious. She has a big personality. The girl literally carried the season on her back. Summer was gone because of her whole accident thing. So who took over? Dolly. She said, I'm gonna be the villain of Baddies Africa, and she did just that. The fact that so many fans hate Dolly's guts just proves how good of a job she did. But yeah, overall, in terms of entertainment value, she brought the entertainment. Do I want to see Dolly back for next season? Honestly, yes, and she deserves it. Next, we see Rolley in her exit interview. Huge personality, hilarious. To me, Rolley definitely has the entertainment value, but I personally feel like Rolley's over it. Every single season she talks about she wants to quit and she doesn't want to come back, and then she ends up coming back, and now I heard again that for real this time she's quitting and she's done and she's over it. And I did feel like at times this season she did seem very over it, even though I give her credit because I feel like this season she did a good job filling in on some of the leadership roles. Even though she felt like Natalie should have done it, I feel like she did a good job doing it. She did something that Scotty couldn't do, which is stay neutral the whole season. So yeah, overall, do I want to see Rolley back next season? I'm gonna say no, only because I feel like she herself doesn't want to come back for next season. Okay, then we see Scotty with the Baddie doing her exit interview. One thing that I like about Scotty is that she has a natural body. Okay, she said it in her exit interview and I kind of forgot, and I was like, you sure is right, huh? All natural. I like that because almost damn near everybody has plastic surgery, baddies nowadays. I'm not gonna lie, Scotty annoyed the shit out of me. For the majority of the season, Scotty was just inserting and then playing victim. I don't like the unfairness. It's just not fair how she's protected almost more than anybody else, right? Also, like the editing fights in her favor type of stuff, like I didn't really like that either. But yeah, I did feel like Scotty spoke up more this season. I do feel like she leaned on that victim a little bit too much though. Do I want to see Scotty back on the next season? Yes. It ain't my choice if I want to see her back. She's coming back regardless, okay? And last but not least, we see Natalie Nunn doing her exit interview. Hilarious. Natalie, big personality, messy, drama. She knows how to make good TV, and that's why Baddies is the success that it is. If it wasn't for Natalie Nunn, this Baddies wouldn't exist on Zeus Network. So yeah, you gotta give credit where credit is due. For my overall thoughts on Baddies Africa, this was an exhausting season. It was a lot. There was a lot of fighting this season. They fought way more than any other season, and every time they fought it was multiple rounds. They had to fight at least 2-3 rounds every single time they fought. It was to the point where everybody at the end, like, look at their faces. Everybody had swollen face, blood clot eyes, bleeding, busted lips, looking like avatars. Like yeah, I feel like this season, dare I say, had too much fighting and not enough build up. I almost miss watching people read each other. Like, that's what Real Housewives was good for, right? Like, I just want to see two people go back and forth and like read the out of each other, you know? There was still a lot of stuff that happened off camera too, so that was a little bit annoying, but I understand they're not filming 24/7, so I understand that. We'll give them some slack on that. And then I just feel like what I didn't like was just the random fighting. It's just like out of nowhere it would just be like boom, 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 boom. Like no explanation, no story, no nothing, just randomly we see people fighting. To me that was just nonsensical and I didn't like that. But yeah, anyways, overall my opinions on Baddies Africa. As a fellow African, I was entertained enough to finish the whole season, so it was good. But like I said, it was getting overwhelming because of all of the fighting. My goodness. Anyways, that's a wrap on Baddies Africa.